Hello, 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 friends. How's it going? We have made it to day 11. Okay, okay. I'm happy about that. I hope that you and yours are well. And if you saw the thumbnail, then you know who that is. Or at least I hope you know who that is. But if you don't know who that is, that's okay because we're about to go through it, all right? And so the person that we are covering today is Nikola Tesla. He could build machines in his mind. I will tell you, he is personally one of my favorite scientists, just for historical pinpoints. And I ain't going to dive into that, but I'm going to dive into that a little bit because it's like, well, wait a minute. This person was doing all of the things that unfortunately the powers that be at that time period and era, who could still be the powers that be this time era, okay, um were against, but that did not stop him from working, right? And so he could literally build things in his mind before touching a single tool. He would visualize every component, every measurement, every rotation. He claimed he could run the machines mentally, identify flaws, and correct them before ever constructing it. Whew. This was not magic, it was trained imagination. Welcome back to the Literacy Reset, 30 days of raising architects. Today, we reset systems thinking because literacy is not only about reading words, it is about constructing mental models. All right, so let's get into my guy, Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla was born in 1856 in what is now Croatia. From an early age, he displayed intense concentration and powerful visualization abilities. He devoured books, science, engineering, philosophy, poetry. Yes, I said poetry. Tesla credited literature with strengthening his imagination and memory. He trained his mind to hold complex ideas. He memorized entire works. And I'm saying that because, there's some people like, oh, these kids are only just learning memorization. Are they? Mm, hmm. Later, he removed later he moved, to the United States and briefly worked for Thomas Edison. But they disagreed fundamentally. Edison favored direct current, which we call DC. Tesla believed alternating current, AC, was more efficient for long distance power transmissions. Tesla didn't just argue emotionally, he reasoned, calculated, modeled systems. Eventually, AC power prevailed, shaping the electrical infrastructure of the modern world. Tesla wasn't simply inventing devices, he was redesigning systems. I don't think y'all understand who this man was. This guy is the same guy who literally created the cell phones. right? The works that the cell phones can do. He spoke on it in the 1900s. I just got to put that out there. Remember, he's early 1900s. That type of science was pulled back and hidden. That's a whole nother conversation. But I just need y'all to know that. Right? I need y'all to know that. He's also the same one who was sitting there using pigeons to help take messages over to other people's. Okay? Pigeons. That's a whole nother topic as well. But I just want you to know, like, this man's body of work is what captivated me. Like, oh, applied knowledge. Got it. Yes. And so, in today's principle, innovation requires the ability to see how parts connect. Literacy strengthens that ability. When a child reads complex texts, they must track relationships, understand cause and effect, hold multiple ideas at once, recognize patterns. That is systems thinking. When a child writes analytically, they must organize their arguments logically, sequence information clearly, anticipate counterparts. I don't think y'all hear me though. I don't think y'all hear me though. This is systems thinking. If you are a mompreneur or a family with entrepreneurs, this is so critical. This is critical. This is information that you can apply and that I'm always applying, right? We have to become systems thinkers for things to flow. Our homes are systems, and we have to figure out the flow of our systems to make sure that homeschooling works efficiently and effectively. This is why I have the roadmap. This is why I'm saying, listen, we can plan this thing to a science. We can plan this to a science. The framework works. And that's in the roadmap intensive. I don't want to get too far off thing, but I just want to point out like how these people have highlighted some very key elements and structures within literacy that goes far beyond any books that we could be telling our children to read. It goes far beyond what we think schooling is: deschooling, unschooling, reprogramming, no programming, whatever, whatever that is. Literacy goes way beyond that. Let me get back on track here. Tesla's brilliance was not randomness, it was structured imagination supported by deep knowledge. If your homeschool literacy blocks focus only on isolated facts, you build fragmented thinkers. If literacy includes synthesis, comparison, and modeling, you build architects of systems. I'm going to say that again. If your homeschool literacy blocks focus only on isolated facts, isolated content, you build fragmented thinkers. If literacy includes synthesis, comparison, and modeling, you build architects of systems. Game changing. Game changing. Let's get into these practical steps that we can use immediately. 1, teach concept mapping. After reading a chapter, have your child draw connections between ideas, create diagrams, map cause and effect chains. Visualizing the relationships strengthen comprehension. I don't know if I should save this for the group or put this out here. Because I actually want to show the method that I saw somebody do something similar, but I don't know how she actually did it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm one of those people who can see the concept and then go remix it 5 times over, and it's something that I do. And it was only a photo that I saw, and I remember contacting my team and said, I just saw a picture, and I think this is going to be a breakthrough for our strugglers with reading, right? And this is going to be a breakthrough for them. It's going to be foundational for those who don't struggle with this. And it's going to be phenomenal overall, because now they will know how to take this and now apply it to different texts that they're reading. So, what I'm going to say this is this: when they are reading text, we're not just talking about main ideas and key details. We're talking about who's involved, what took place, how it happened, when it happened, why did it happen, why we think it happens. But we're drawing visuals for these things. We're connecting the dots before we even see a question. We're reading the text, then we're rereading the text, and we're going back into the text for the second or third time, and we're pulling out moments and reconstructing them visually. Then the children, when they see that, because they have to reflect of when it happened within the story, I don't know how to explain it other than to see it in process, where now it's like, well, yeah, because this happened and this happened. And then we're having discussions about it, and people are sharing in their perspectives that could be so different, because we all know we can all read something, we can all watch a movie and be like, I didn't see that part, I don't remember that part happening. But then now that you bring it up, now I got to go rewatch it, or I'm going to go think that I did see it and recall my own memory back forward, where I could be like, you know what, I do remember that. Game changing. So that's just one. And I think I'm going to put that in the school community, because that's something I love to do. And I think it really, really does help to have that type of skill as a tool for them, especially as they're going through complex text, right? All right. Second, practice synthesis writing. Instead of summarizing one source, assign, compare two historical figures, connect the science concept to a modern issue, combine multiple texts into one analysis. Synthesis builds cognitive flexibility. I love it. I'm always doing compare and contrast. Something else I would tell you to also do, my little lady here wants to be a part of the conversation, y'all. Would also be to compare a fiction story to a nonfiction story, right? And having them draw out what's similar, what's not, and so forth, and being able to not only write it, draw it out, explain it, and so forth. It's going to be game changing. It's going to deepen their thinking. It's going to help them organize their thoughts, because they're going to have to recall exactly where they remember it from and point it out, and to have supporting details. Now they come back to fits. I love it. I love this stuff. I love this stuff. Next, ask system questions. When studying a topic, ask, what influences this? What depends on this? If this changes, what else changes? Train your child to see ripple effects. Something else that you can do too is Even let them rewrite the endings to stories, rewrite the beginnings to stories, and so forth. Play a lot of writing different games, right? Like where you just change one element of the scenario. I love those things. They have fun with those things too. Make it random. In my classroom, I always had fun putting things in a box, in a bag or something, and you draw out an element that's completely different. We actually did something called a writing wonder wall, and the kids and their families, it was a writing project night, and they had to write a story with their family, but they had to pull all these different cards off the wall to get the different elements of the story for them to put together. You can have fun with it. You can have fun with it. You can have fun with everything but learning, but that's just my take. Next, encourage mental modeling. Before solving a math or a science problem, right? Ask, can you picture what's happening? Can you explain it verbally before writing equations? Internal visualization strengthens reasoning. Okay? Internal visualization strengthens reasoning. Now, let's get into our shift. You are not raising task completers. You are raising designers. Tesla, he was able to look at the world and ask, how can this work better? We could have had free electricity, y'all. I'm just saying. Tesla was like, you could use these cords, you could put them in the ground, you could do this and all that. They did not want to hear that because they wanted to make the money. But this is why you got to apply knowledge, have some wisdom, use your knowledge, impact for good. Hello. Then ask questions that require literacy. Because to redesign something, you must first understand it deeply. When your child can analyze complex systems, anticipate consequences, integrate knowledge across disciplines, they are no longer passive learners. They are innovators. No, mama, you can't play with that. They're innovators. You're getting them to break past norms and comfort zones. You're getting them to push past limits, limited blocks. That's where the innovation comes from. They're getting a chance to look at something from a different point of view. If today revealed that your homeschool focuses heavily on memorization but less on integration, that awareness is powerful. Inside the Offer Us Homeschool Clarity Roadmap, we walk through teaching synthesis step by step, structuring interdisciplinary units, building system thinking intentionally, raising strategic, innovative learners. So your child doesn't just learn subjects, but they actually connect them. They actually connect them. Again, this is just things that I'm be adding in gradually into our school community. Inside the studio, I will share again different tools and resources. I'll help people plan inside the studio, getting to know their child, what works, what's not working, helping connect project-based learning so that it can be a learning journey that's in depth, right? That's what not only will shape them to become innovators and help with critical thinking and problem solving, but it makes them also more well-rounded. more well-rounded. And so I'm going through that inside the studio, and you are welcome to join. The first 100 members that joins into the studio, the price is $5 because that amount is monumental to me. It was the first amount I ever charged for reading for small students when I used to just teach on Saturday mornings, and it was monumental. It was my very humble beginning. And so the link for that is also in the description. And this, ladies and gentlemen, has been the Literacy Reset. I hope that you have enjoyed. I encourage you to go ahead and look into Nikola Tesla more. There's plenty of documentaries that are really good out there on him. He's definitely a person of wisdom to study. And without further ado, I'll see you in episode 12. Enjoy.